Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. Now the club's made me do this press conference. Don't really want to be here to be honest, but alright, there's some questions, so let's get them underway.
Ah yes, Harry Sidebottom, British journalist. Now Aussie Villain, you sit here in February having failed to make a single signing. Have you just cost yourself any chance of silverware this season?
No, actually quite the opposite, mate. I think we've improved our chances of winning silverware this year because we have a good squad, a full squad. By that I mean we have our 25-man playing limit. If we were to sign somebody, that means somebody has to leave. And that's not fair on them. I think that the players have earned their right to win silverware here at Aston Villa. And I'm confident that they will take that up. And let's not forget, we haven't done nothing in the transfer window in January. We did sign long-term contracts. Marin, Mosley, Rashid has signed a long-term contract, as has Nick Godfrey, and a little man called Aussie Villain as well has committed his future to the club. So I think the club is looking in a very, very good position going forward.
Yes, me again. Now, Sir Alex Ferguson famously said you must strengthen from a position of strength. So why have you failed to do so?
Did he say that, mate? Maybe just check your quote there, but I get the gist of what you're saying. He also proved you could win things with kids, didn't he? Now, I've just mentioned a few names. Add to that any number of young players we have at the club already. Tell you what, we make the class of 92 look like a pub team.
Now, Aussie, come on. Surely you can't believe what you've just said.
Well, who would you sell, mate? Well, exactly, mate. If you want to be director of football, I'm sure Mike here will accept your application. But until we have that application and you've been hired to direct transfers at this club, you keep to your stories, mate, and you leave the transfers to me, eh?
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa. Welcome to episode 71 of Raise the Hulk, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. And as you've just heard, the transfer window has come, it has gone, and we did not sign anybody. The reason being, I just couldn't find anybody that was better, to be honest, or that was reasonably priced anyway. Maybe there were players that were better, but, 80 million for a central defender, for example, just seemed a little bit of an overpriced to me. We did send a few players out on loan, though. The main one here is Brian Carlos. He hadn't scored for a number of seasons now, which isn't good. I shouldn't be laughing. It's not great. So we sent him down to the Championship with Burnley. He's going to get some football there, and I'm sure he's going to find his form. He plays well when he plays for England under 21s, so I don't want his career to stagnate and sort of fall out of the youth football ranks either. So I think he'll do well there. We sent a couple of other youngsters out on loan, a few off to Solihull Moors. Now, the reason being, I want Solihull Moors to be promoted to League One if we can get them up there, because that would be a good level then to send down youngsters, I think, to get their football. So they're right there or thereabouts for this season. They almost went up last year. I think they lost out in the playoffs. So we've sent a couple more youngsters out to them, so hopefully we'll be able to get them into League One, and then we'll just kind of leave them there as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so that's what's happening on the transfer front. No transfers in, as I said. But as you can see, since last episode, things have gone extremely well on the pitch. They didn't start that way, though. Of course, we went New Year's Day and played Crystal Palace, and we were truly horrible in this game. We never, ever got going. I don't know what was wrong with us. We were just played off the park. We didn't look like we knew how to play football. I'd say it was tied legs, but we'd been rotating. We didn't really have tied legs, so it was one of those games I don't really know what happened there. Then we played Fulham in the FA Cup third round, and I'm going to have to look at my notes here because there was too many games for me to remember exactly what happened in all of them. Alright, I remember now. Now, Fulham actually, it looks like we won quite comfortably, and we did. It was 4-1, and it says Andre Green missed a penalty. He actually got the rebound. So we had Andre Green hat-trick and Almeida with the goals. I did try and put Brian Carlos on the penalty, but it wouldn't let me change before Green took the penalty. So unfortunately, we couldn't get him on the score sheet that way. But I thought Fulham made it quite tough for us. They got back to 2-1 just after half-time, and then we got a couple of late goals, which made it look a lot more comfortable than it was. But they gave us a tough game up. Watmo, of course, returning to Villa Park, as was Martinez, guys that we have had in the past. So, it was a good solid win into the hat for the next round. Then we played Brighton away from home, and we were absolutely dominant. Now they had a red card 76th minute. The game was already over at that point. We were already 4-1 up. So Rodrigo got a goal. Lavidovic with a double, and Almeida once again. Look at those player ratings. We absolutely smashed them. It was fantastic to see. Borja was injured for that one, so we didn't have to come up against him. Then we played Huddersfield at home in the league, and this again was just a dominant performance. It was Marin, Almeida yet again, and Rashid with the goals. Look at the player ratings, look at the match stats, absolutely just dominant. Then we played, where are we here? Then we played Reading in the FA Cup fourth round. And this was a weird one. It really was a tough game for us yet again. We were 2-0 up, and then we threw it away. You can see they got back to 2-2, 88th minute, and then we just kind of angered us. And then we went back, and McGinn got the winner in the 91st minute. Andre Green and defender Rodrigo again with the other goals. Andre Green's been on absolute tear, in case you haven't noticed, on goal scoring. Then we played Leicester City away from home in the league. Now, they're really struggling. Really struggling this season, unfortunately, because I do have a soft spot. I think everybody has a soft spot for Leicester after their Premier League winning season, don't they? And we just outlasted them, to be honest. It was a relatively even game, as you can see. We just took our chances and made the most of it. So Almeida, Andre Green, yet again with a double, and Rashid with the goals. Just a good, solid performance against a team that is struggling. Then finally, we played Everton, and this was, where are we here? It was just a hard-fought game, to be honest. Just a hard-fought game. And yeah, they scored some good goals. We scored some good goals. Yerry Mina opened the scoring for us with an own goal just before half-time. Labadovic with a double. Rashid with a penalty as well. And that was that. Now, as you heard in the press comments, we may not have signed any new players, but there were some contract extensions. So Marin is now on a new long-term deal, as is Rashid, Godfrey, Gaz Mosley as well signed a new contract. Where can I get to here so we can have a look at this? So Rashid now is on 31 grand, which is still pretty good for a player of his quality, on a 4-year deal, I think it was. We could only sign him to a 4-year extension. It was as long as I could get, so we want him here as long as possible. Gaz Mosley, as I said, signed a new deal. So he's on 46 grand a week now. Enjoy that, Gaz. Another 4-year extension there again. Where are we here? Marin. He has had interest coming in from other clubs. So again, we signed him to an extension. 110 grand a week he's on now. We really want to try and keep him. And the other one, who'll say, Ben Godfrey, just as a backup, just to make sure he stays at the club. He's happy in his role, and I'm happy with him in his role right now. So 20 grand a week, he's going to be around for a little bit longer. That was a 3-year extension. And of course, the big news, Aussie Villa signed a contract extension as well. So that's good. We've not that we had any plans on going anywhere, but there we go. So we're here. I gave myself a nice little bonus should we win the Champions League, I think. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, so we're on 87 grand a week, which is a nice little bonus there for us. And you can see our attributes here, coaching attributes. We're not the greatest coach going around, but mentally we're quite strong, aren't we? Let's have a quick look at what all that means for league tables, because we are currently top of the league and by a comfortable margin. And this is why I didn't really want to sign any other players, because these guys are doing fine. If we sign somebody, it could disrupt the dressing room. We could have a little bit of adjustment period while they settle in. So I didn't really see a sense in changing things. Should we beat Manchester City in the first game today, we'll go, what is that? 10 points clear. 10 points clear, everybody. That is just insane. And then, of course, we'll play AC Milan in the first leg of the Champions League knockout round this episode as well. But we'll skip over the Bradford game in between. The FA Cup, that's not what we're worried about right now. But Bradford in the FA Cup 5th round looks doable. They're a championship club. Even though it's away from home, that does, as I said, look doable. So let's have a look at the team that we are sending out to face Manchester City here. And there will be a goals of the month in the episode as well. A mammoth goals of the month. So it's Livakovic in goal. It's Nepo, Chambers, Holgate, and Kosic as a back four. Actually, you know what? We'll put that guy. Oh, he's not match sharp. No, we won't. We'll stick with Livakovic. I've just been trying to rotate them to keep them both happy for now. But we'll play Gaz in the FA Cup and then maybe him in the Champions League as well. Anyway, Tonali and Grealish in midfield. Rashid, Almeida, and Rodrigo. Now, Green is he injured? He's match fatigued for this one, I think. Is he match fatigued? There's a reason I wouldn't play. Yeah, he's match fatigued. So we'll try and save him for AC Milan because again, he's been absolutely on a tear with goals. How many goals does he have now? He's got 9 or 10 goals, I think. 9 goals. So it's far and away his best season for us. And the Labadovic, he's been banging in the goals up front for us. So with Rodrigo playing out left with Marin injured right now, the Lab continues up front. So we can see the way here Manchester City's lining up a little bit defensive. We're getting respect, boys. Look at this. This is excellent stuff. We are at home. I would like to think we could win it. They're struggling a little bit down there in 7th. So they may have even dropped down a little bit more after. So because we have the late kickoff on us. I think it's the Saturday. So come on, lads. Show what we can do to keep our run going. Some calm. We have faith. And yeah, let's just see. Can we keep this going? I mean, the good news is that, worst case scenario, we lose this game, we're still 7 points clear. And we're in February now as well, let's not forget. So it's not, the season is beginning to wind down a little bit. Yeah, so it's just a fantastic position we're in. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I didn't really see a sense in in signing anybody. Now, as I said, that we have made a small tactical tweak, which seems to have really improved our goal scoring. Shorter passing and just a standard tempo. We just lifted the tempo just that little bit. And we've been scoring a lot more goals. We're not necessarily exploiting the flanks either, unless a team is playing particularly narrow. And yeah, like I say, it is making the difference. You can see from the goals we're scoring, it's making a difference. Almeida has just been amazing. He's our top goal scorer. Now, there's a good ball over the top for Labadovic. I don't think he's going to get to that, though. Yeah, Andre Green. Marin got a bit of an injury, and Andre Green has just been a revelation as well. So, yeah, it's just so far so good, really. It's all good news. Now, whether we come back now, so you guys can see, and that continues, we're about to find out. Labadovic there for Rashid. Can he get a decent cross in? He goes back for Tonali. This is fine. In for Almeida. Almeida with a bit of space. It's fallen for Nepo. Can Nepo get a cross in? He can. Back post. It's there for Rashid! We just can't stop scoring. 8th goal of the year for Rashid. Nepo with the assist. And that's 1-0 to Aston Villa. We are looking really, really good right now. We're looking really, really, really good. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I don't really know where it's come from. That small tactical tweak, as I said, just seems to have just made a massive difference. And like long may it continue, to be honest. We'll demand a little bit more here. Now, we're playing against, it's Manchester City, but it's the Jurgen Klopp Manchester City. So they're not, it's Manchester City, but not as we know it, shall we say. They're a direct team. This is a guy I've not tried to sign. I was considering signing, if you remember, last transfer window, because we had a choice between him and Kosic, and we went for Kosic. He's a young English kid. I would have potentially gone back for him as an upgrade on Bree. There's a stunning ball for Labadovic! Oh, unlucky. I always get the feeling with Labadovic, to me, he feels like a 35-year-old like Croatian journeyman striker. He's not. He's young, but I feel like we've had him for so long now, and he's just reliable. He just, in my head, he's just like a 35-year-old. You know what I mean? Like the long hair with the band around it. That's just the image I have of him in my head. But we've got to remember, he's a young man. He's still a young man. A whole career ahead of him. Can Rashid get on the end of that? Doesn't look like he can. Yeah, now we're coming under a little bit of pressure here, aren't we? Since we've gone behind. Oh, Sane, so close. I did look, if we're talking about the transfer window, I did look at a centre-back upgrade. I feel like that is potentially where we can upgrade. But like I was saying, we're at our limit with both a 25-player squad limit, and also we're at our limit of foreign players. Almeida with a decent little chip in. Oh, it's been missed by the defender to Rodrigo. Oh, he's missed it. Rodrigo has gone off form completely off form. He started the season so well, he was banging in the goals, and he can't seem to hit a barn door right now. So playing him out left is probably a good way to hopefully get him back into a little bit of form. But yeah, it is the one sort of slightly concerning aspect of the team, I think, is the form of Rodrigo. But if we're getting goals from everywhere else, like literally everywhere else, so it doesn't seem to matter too much. Rashid for Almeida through for the Labadovic! Oh, we are so good right now. We're so good. 7th goal of the year for the Lab. And Thiago Almeida, honestly, he could win World Player of the Year this year. He is just on fire. I think he's on 14 goals as a midfielder, albeit a number 10 midfielder, but 14 goals. He's getting assists for fun, and that's a really good through ball and a really good finish from the Lab as well. 7th goal, as I said, for him, which is probably pushing up towards his best season for us as well, actually. This has been an absolutely stunning first half. I know I was quite a little bit tongue-in-cheek when I said, we make the class of 92 look like pub footballers. But in all seriousness, like we're really, really good. I think the average age of our team right now is 22. And we just look really, really good. I can only be happy with that. We'll get back out there. I don't really want to change too much. It's maybe, sense should say, let's put a DM in and look to just see them out here, but I don't want to. I may regret it, but we're high flying in the league. We're in a position too now where we can kind of afford to lose a game here or there, and we've still got a comfortable lead. So while we're playing well, while we're scoring goals, I just want to keep going for it, to be honest. Am I going to be made eat my words right here, right now? And you quickly see me retract into my shell and bring on a defensive midfielder. Dembele on a bit of a run. The Lab, it's easy for the Lab all day. All right, can we go and get a third? A third goal, you would imagine, just about kills off the game. Grealish, back for Tonali, for Rodrigo. I'd love him to get a goal. Rodrigo, what can he do? He's looking for space. You can see that looked like a nervous finish, an unconfident finish, didn't it? Who do we have on the bench? We have Nick Roberts on the bench. I kind of want to keep some of these guys on the bench fresh, if I'm honest, for the FA Cup. I feel like we're in a position in the league now as well where we can actually go after the FA Cup a little bit as well. Like I said, we just have such a deep squad as well. It's just everything I wish Villa could be in real life, to be honest. We're playing well. We've got a deep, good, young squad. Hopefully it's a view into the future of real life Villa. Oh, Almeida, that looked as though it might have been going on target as well, just not quite over the wall. He picks it up though, back post dink for Rashid. Oh, we've missed it. The chances we've missed, that Rodrigo won in the first half. Rashid there, we could have put 4 or 5 past Manchester City here quite comfortably. But as it is, it looks like we're going to have to settle for 2. There's enough time, this is the proper highlights, there's enough time for a goal here. Which way will it go, of course? I was saying too, wasn't I, about central defence. There is a young German defender who I would really like to sign, a ball-playing defender. That's one back. We might just slow it down a little bit now. Just make sure we do actually hang on here. Yeah, so there's a German defender. He's from Werder Bremen or Wolfsburg. I always get those two clubs mixed up. But he's from one of them. I would like to sign him. He had an £82 million release clause, which the club wanted. It expired basically at the end of the last transfer. That's actually quite a good finish from Weigl, isn't it? So I've waited for that to expire, and now we'll go back and see if they'll accept sort of a sensible bid for him. That'll be one for the summer. We do have one, I think, expendable player in Carlos Alina. He's a foreign player. He's very much there as a backup. I do like him, but I think if losing Alina means we get a sort of a world-class centre-back in, then I'm all for that. Kostic, can we get a third one here? It doesn't look like we can. To be honest, just hold the ball, boys. We're doing fine. It is the most comfortable... Oh, wait a second. I shouldn't talk too soon there. But this has been the most comfortable 2-1 win I think we've ever seen. As I said, we should have beaten them by a lot more. That's an absolutely stunning result. 10 points clear at top of the table. And have we built the team here that is going to take us to the top of world football? It's been a stated goal since we came in, and I'm beginning to see signs that we might be on our way. There it is, read and embrace, boys. 10 points clear. 10 points clear. We've almost assured Champions League football for next year already. We're 21 points clear of 5th place, Chelsea. Absolutely just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Klopp... That's fine. We've beaten Klopp. Anyway, guys, wait right there. We'll play through the FA Cup and we'll be back. It's AC Milan in the Champions League. First knockout round, first leg. Okay, welcome back. It is time for AC Milan, the Champions League. And I've just realised the green in my shirt, it's, funnily enough, blending into the green screen. I remember now why I didn't wear any Socceroo Australia t-shirts last summer. Anyway, that's one for me to worry about, not for you. You can see we are the favourites for this game, which is good. You can see the other results in the Champions League so far. Liverpool absolutely dismantled Benfica. United with 2 away goals to Paris. That's interesting, isn't it? And then, of course, in the one that everybody wants, Rangers have a narrow lead over Partizan. That's the quarterfinal draw that we want, isn't it, if we get through this one. Now, just the one game to fill you in on, it was the FA Cup against Bradford, and as you would expect, against the Championship club, we did get the win. 3-0, Roberts, Robbie, and Silla with the goals. You can see, we were too good for them. They to be fair, they tried their best. It was tight-ish for a while there, but yeah, we were just too good for them. So good luck to them in their promotion. Where are they in the Championship? Are they in a promotion bid? Good luck for them in their relegation battle. Hopefully Willie Williamson will fire in some goals for him. He's got, 10 goals for him this year. So he's doing okay. He's doing his part. But yeah, we were just too good for them. So this is the team we're sending out for the Champions League for the first knockout round, first leg, and it's back to the big boys. Gaz Mosley in goal. Excuse me, as my voice fails me. Napo, Chambers, Holgate, and Kostic as a back four. Tonali and Grealish in midfield. Rashid, Almeida, and Rodrigo in behind Labadovic. We do have Marin back on the bench. We're not going to start him in this one though. The reason behind that is that our next games in the league, we're coming up, remember at the start of the year, we had sort of just that almost straight run of games that we showed because they were all sort of the big clubs. So after this, we have Manchester United and Arsenal in the league, and then we have Liverpool is coming up in that run as well, and then obviously the second leg against AC Milan. So I don't want to overuse players here. So if we can keep him fresh for this one, Rodrigo has been doing okay. He hasn't been doing terribly. Unfortunately, Andre Green really didn't have a good game against Bradford. So I'm wondering if his little hot streak is over. We had to rest him because he was match fatigued. He would have ended up getting an injury or underperforming anyway. But maybe we could have rode that form. Here's Rodrigo on a run. Here's Rodrigo on a run. Oh, Rodrigo! That would have been goal of the season in the 24th second. What a run from Rodrigo, showing why he deserves to be in the team there, really, isn't he? Corner comes in, Chambers heads it away. Grealish is surely offside. I think he knew that. And it's hacked clear by the AC Milan player. We're going for this a little bit because away goals, obviously, would be massive. So we want to try and get a couple of them if we can. We've got to do some work here from the corner, though. Oh, we haven't cleared it, and it's in the back of the net. Poor from the defending corner. Should we have been doing some more work on that in training, perhaps? We'll definitely be doing some after this. It was a bit of an oversight, actually. I didn't do any work on defending set pieces. We just got in a little bit of a mess. Who's that's fallen over there? Tonali just seemed to just lose everything. He forgot where he was. Let's give it a demand more here. No need to be nervous and anxious here, boys. We're still a good team. Corner of our own now. Grealish knocks it in. It's in the mixer. It's bouncing around and it's in the back of the net. It's Rodrigo. He's got one. He's scuffed one in. Is that going to be enough now to get him back into some form? It's his 11th of the year. I don't think he's scored one since September. So it's good to see him back on the score sheet. But it's the stereotypical in off the backside goal, isn't it? He knew absolutely. Oh, he did know a little bit about it. He's just stuck his foot in there to knock it in. Shinned one in, and that is excellent stuff. We'll take that, won't we? Let's get creative now, boys. Come on. I am a little bit concerned about nerves because we do have a lot of young players. So there's always a risk that in these bigger games that could play on them. But yeah, so far so good. Almeida now from a set piece. Almeida bends one. Is that off the post? No, side netting. The main thing is we've got that away goal. So even if, worst case scenario here, we go and lose, say, 2-1. We've got that away goal. We would just need to win by the one goal at home. Kostic is going to pick up that 5 minutes before the break. Can we snatch ourselves a beautiful, beautiful lead? Grealish on a booking is a little bit of a concern so early. He should be fine. But especially in midfield, you just never know. It's easy to miss time a tackle in there, isn't it? Almeida goes early for the Lab. The Lab's onto this. Can he finish? The Lab! Oh! Tight angle. Donnarumma's not letting that in, though, is he? Would have been a good time to score. Now, is the highlight going to continue here? And if so, can we please win this header? We've got that. Tonali down to Grealish. Excellent from Tonali, that wasn't it? Grealish with a cracking ball for Rodrigo. Can he get another goal? Can he get a run? Can he find a cross? It's there. The Lab! Oh, the Lab! It's 8th goal of the year for him now. He's hit some form. He's finally doing what I knew he could when we signed him. We signed him as I think it was a wonder kid, a Croatian wonder kid when we signed him. He's never really scored consistently for us, but just this last month, I think it's maybe the whole team is scoring more regularly, but the Lab is just on fire. Excellent stuff. Let's give it a demand more. That's 2 away goals now as well, which is really, really important. Can we go get a third here and essentially wrap up the tie before half-time? It's looking as though it's going to be an AC Milan highlight. Can we get a block in here, a tackle? Are they going to get one back themselves? Oh, it's a cracking shot from Kessie off the bar. I don't think Gaz even saw that, but we're on the counter-attack ourselves here with Rashid. What can he do? And that's a decent covering tackle by Bakayoko, isn't it? I'll tell you what, we'll take this, though. We'll take 2-1 at half-time. We haven't been at our absolute best, but we've dominated possession. We've had the shots. So, yeah, it's a deserved lead. What do we say to that at half-time? What do I say? I'm gonna say I'm not happy. Some of these match ratings aren't great. It's maybe been a little bit of individual brilliance that has maybe not individual brilliance, but it was a scrappy goal and it was a decent cross. But yeah, I wouldn't say we haven't been dominating the highlights, have we? That's got them motivated anyway. That's the reaction that we wanted. A couple of nervous players in defence isn't ideal, but we can deal with that. We do have McGinn on the bench who can come in and play for Grealish. It's the booking that makes me a little bit nervous rather than anything else he's doing. I don't know that he's frustrated on a yellow card. That could end poorly, couldn't it? Alright, given that he's on a booking, we have those big games coming up. Let's bring McGinn on for Grealish. Anything else we want to do? I don't think so, not right now. We seem to be just effectively shutting the game down here, don't we? Let's try demand more. Oh, it's a corner. We need to do better than we did last time. It's out to the edge of the area. It's been smashed. Oh, second time of asking. It's the first goal of the season. Of course it is. And that is 2-2. We definitely need to do work on defending set pieces or corners specifically, don't we? Because that's 2 goals now we've conceded from corners. Perhaps a little bit unlucky. It's a stunning reaction to get it that clean second time of asking. Again, I don't like the nervous defenders. Come on, boys. What can we do here? Can we nick it and go up the other end? That's what I'd like to see here, please. Oh, I thought we were going to nick it there. Oh, Gaz just had it covered the whole way, we'll say there, past the post. Let's maybe give it a calm down, perhaps, if we can. It's maybe getting a bit late in the day for that now anyway. We'll give it a calm down anyway. I don't like the nerves. They're looking disinterested. This should be it. 2-2 is not the worst result, is it? It should have been better, I think. We've conceded twice from a corner, which is annoying. But as long as we don't concede 3 goals at home, as long as we don't lose, we will be going through. So I think that's okay. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. But I 2 away goals. I don't think that's the worst result we could have got today. Good to see Rodrigo back on form as well. That gives us a selection dilemma for the second leg, though, now, doesn't it? Do we go with Marin out wide and Rodrigo up front, though? The Lab's scoring goals as well. You're not getting any Manchester City. I'll just throw that out there to you right now. But yeah, so that is excellent stuff. Guys, that's it for today. We will be back on what day? We'll be back on Wednesday. You don't miss anything. We come straight back for Manchester United and Arsenal at home. They are 2 massive games, especially the Arsenal game. We could effectively, if we were to win that and go 13 points clear, although Liverpool could technically still be 10 points back. But we play Liverpool the game after that. So these next 2-3 episodes here will be season defining. We could effectively wrap up the Premier League, and then we can just concentrate on the FA Cup and the Champions League. I do want to make sure we get this first major trophy. We haven't won anything at the club yet other than the Championship when we got promoted. So big times ahead. As I said, if you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. It helps people find the videos and the channel, which I'm obviously very grateful for. And if you are new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload new episodes. But until next time, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. And here is our mega goals of the month for a big month of January. Take care.